The freeze frame here is telling me why I have so many neck and back problems. And I really have to do some posture work.
You look like E.T. Hi, everybody. We're going to watch some scenes from our new movie, The Rip, and tell you what was happening behind the scenes.
Let's go.
Not seeing a crime does not exonerate you from its commission.
Not if it's in your fucking house.
You understand?
We're asking Sasha questions. We've come into her house. We are on the verge of finding a whole lot of money in the house, and we're kind of bracing her, trying to figure out what she knows.
AWTGG.
AWTGG stands for Are We the Good Guys? And the other hand, we are and always will be. You know, she's kind of giving me a little shit about them here, saying, you know, are we the good guys? She says, do you need validation that you're a good guy?
Do you need validation that you're a good guy?
As you watch the scene, you see periodically there's this dust that falls from the ceiling. It's one of the things I like about this scene. And so it kind of serves as like a reminder of the impending reveal of what that is. But there was somebody, you know, basically sifting dust.
On a ladder, dropping dust on us. And then occasionally, yeah, Joe would go boom from the monitor. Yeah, when there was a break in the dialogue.
He's a visceral director. He wants you to feel that.
Yeah.
When I asked you upstairs, how much was the Crime Stopper tip for? You said about $300,000.
This actually is based on something that happened in Miami. They did hit a house and find over $20 million in a wall.
You have not been yourself since we've been here.
So we're old friends and we've been partners. We've worked together for a long time. Once we find the money, my character starts behaving really erratically.
You think I want to jack this Rip?
Dude, I don't know what you're doing, man.
People who know our work know that we grew up together and have this kind of history, and I think part of the fun of it is playing with that in a movie like this, where you're not really sure where everybody's allegiances are, but you are aware that these guys have this connection, so you're going, which one of them's bad? Are they both bad? Are they both good? What the hell's going on?
And you were lying to me, and you were holding shit back. And don't tell me I'm imagining shit, because I've known you too long. It's a really interesting idea. Like, what if that person that you really feel so close to and so comfortable, like secure with, how difficult it would be to try to reconcile the idea that like maybe I can't trust this person. That presents like a really interesting dramatic opportunity to build a movie around. What is going on?
There's another tiny little detail. I'm standing with my hands up like this, which is something I saw on YouTube that some martial artist was talking about. Like if you're confronting somebody, to get your hands up. Because I actually don't know if he's going to throw a punch at me. But I
didn't know that. That's
yeah. So I'm a little squared off and a little like I'm prepared for him to throw a punch at me because I know he's going to get increasingly upset by what I'm kind of giving back to him. This scene was born out of Joe's real, just true passion for blowing shit up. He was very excited to squib this entire building, and Steven and I were running for our lives through there with a lot of full load blanks in the weapons because Joe also really likes loud bangs. Yeah, I don't know how I missed him there. I mean, I really had him lined up, but you can see
harder than it looks. We're shooting on the run.
Well, but if you look at the actual angle I'm shooting at, I mean, I did hit the dish.
That's true.
But
later, put that in.
Yeah. That was a really great stunt, actually. There was one roof that he really had to send it. He had sprained his ankle early, and in true stunt performer fashion, didn't tell anyone and wasn't going to complain. And so I think wrapped it, cortisone shot, and just went for it and nailed it. We shot down in Carson City to double for a cul-de-sac in Miami. God, obviously this is a night scene, which means you get there as the sun's going down and you leave when the sun's coming up. So shooting blanks, which are just as loud as regular live rounds, they were very kind to let us make a lot of noise through the night.
I have the pleasant memory of going home at 2 in the morning and being like, I'll see you later, Matt. Enjoy the rest of the night.
Yeah, Steven and I worked that night.
What we did do is go down and visit with officers in Miami, some of whom have like small parts in the movie. And that is actually what's, I think for me, really valuable. What was interesting was getting to know the people that do that job every day and who they are and what their lives was like, because that's kind of what comes out in these kinds of circumstances, and it dictates how you react to this level of crisis, you know.
Yeah, spending time with them, watching just the banter, how they relate, massively helpful when you're trying to recreate that with a group of actors.
Are we the good guys?
Do you need validation that you're a good guy?
Watch our film, The Rip.
You can find it now on Netflix.